My name is Matt Sipes with the developmental branch, and today we're going to bring you another workflow in CAD support video. Today we are going to be talking about item types. I know this is something that we've showcased a little bit, but we wanted to make a video that shows what item types are, how to use them, how to add them, and how to create new ones if that's something you want to do. So I'll be using the new release, the 2022 R3 Update 12. This is with the newest CAD standards. Right now the version is V50103. So this is a project that we're doing in-house that I kind of took apart and added some other things to it so we can kind of really see what item types are doing, how they're working, and what the magnitude of things that we've set up. So the very first thing I want to talk about is where those item types are stored. So they are actually tied into your feature definition. So if I dig down in here and I go into my project, into feature definitions, into my meshes and my TCs. In this example, I'll pick asphalt surface. You can see down here, we've created different attributes that get pulled based on the feature definition. So in this case, it's an asphalt surface, so it pulls the asphalt surface attributes. So when you are creating your templates, when you're creating your models, using the correct feature definition when you're building them in your templates is going to be very important. So now that we know where those are stored, let's talk a little bit about how to use them. So item types in general are a 3D object. They get assigned to the 3D of whatever you're creating. So generally you want to be working in your 3D view as you're doing it. So the simplest way to do it is in your 3D view to click on whatever you're trying to do, hover over it and get your properties. When you do that, it brings up those attributes that we just looked at for that 3D solid. So in this case, it's an asphalt surface. I can come here and I can click that I want this to be class 3 6422. So I can click it, and now that attribute is assigned to that material. So this can get kind of cumbersome. You can see I have a lot of different surfaces, a lot of different pavements, a lot of different components built into this model. So if I tried to go through and select each one of them on the whole thing, inevitably I'm going to make a mistake. So what we recommend doing is coming over here to your Explorer, into your items list. This lets you control what you're doing and how you're doing it a little bit easier. You can see as I select, it shows you what you're selecting in your 3D. So if I want my surfaces to be a class 2, we're going to drop the pavement down, drop the type down on my surface. You can come over here, select them all, and I can say I want a class 2 6422. And we can do this to each piece of our model. We can do this to our bases, we can do this to our curb and gutter, our sidewalk, all those different attributes. So I'll go ahead and put a couple different pieces into here just so we can see it as we run our report. And so once we've gone through and assigned all of our attributes, you go up to your ribbon and you can either search for reports up here, right here, which I've already used, so I know where it is, or you can go over to your tab over under utilities and click your report button. So we've created this for you can get each individual one, or you can go ahead and get all your pavement all at once. And there's a bunch of different ways to see these reports. So first you can preview it, which kind of just shows you what you're looking at. You can place it as a table. So that creates a table that you can then put into your DGN, or you can export it as a CSV or an XML. So I'm going to preview it real quick. And make note that I'm in my 3D view. If you're in your 2D, this will be blank because, again, item types are assigned in the 3D, not the 2D. So you can see a bunch of these attributes that we've been assigning are now pulled into our report. It gives us our tonnage, it gives us our areas and our volumes for each one of these. These are calculated based on what it is. So if I go into my surface, my subgrade. My subgrade is going to be, the math is going to be different, obviously, than a base. One other thing I want to show in the subgrade is that when we talk to our pavement branch here, one thing they asked about was, can you add geotextile fabric into this quantity? So it'll pull it for us. And so we've gone ahead and added that. So if I brush on base with the geotextile fabric, type 1 on top of it, then we can see that. So I've added it in my 3D, and so all I have to do is hit refresh in my report, and it goes ahead and pops all that stuff in there for me. I still have my tonnages, still have my areas, all those things are pulled automatically. You can see my fabric, and that's in square yards, and that's pulled all for you. We've done the same thing for curb and gutter, sidewalk. One thing I do want to point out with curb and gutter is curb and gutter, since it is a linear bid item, we kind of handled that one a little bit differently than these 3D solids. So if you're one that likes to go in and select each one of these, your curb and gutter, the 3D solid is not where that item type is stored. You won't see it. It's actually stored on the linear gutter line. Let's see if I can get it to show up here. So right there you can see that it's actually selecting that gutter line, so we can make sure that we get our length. One thing that we're working on developing is getting starting and ending stations to go along with that. That'll be popped out of our report. Last thing I want to talk about is creating new item types for those that want to do that. So there is a whole different tool for item types. So you can go into item types here, and these are the ones that we've created. And you can see in each one we have these attributes that we've created. Some of them are mathematical equations. Some of them are text that are looking at an Excel sheet. There's a bunch of different attributes and different capabilities here. I don't really want to get into too much of it, but if you have any questions on that stuff, feel free to reach out to us. And as always, if you have any questions on this video or any other videos, the easiest way to contact us is through this technical support form that you can see on the right. You also can see a lot more of these workflow videos on our CAD support website, and you can click on the links that are appropriate there. Thank you.